We're live with another episode of BS Busters. We're getting started a little bit earlier than usual. Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself, and then we'll dive into these topics.
My name's Questionathons. Glad to be here on another one of these BS Busters.
Yeah, glad to have you. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner and proprietor of BS Busters. So let's get to it. I guess the first thing, we kind of covered this yesterday on Kenoshi's cast, but I got to give my take on it. Get this out the way. Nintendo had a Direct a few days ago. Let's talk about it.
Okay. It was a big waste of time.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say...
There was some things.
Yeah, there was... The thing is that it was a series of small things. It's like small, like very niche announcements for certain types of gamers. But I mean, you know, if you're that type of gamer, then it's amazing. Like if you care about F-Zero and like you played F-Zero on the SNES and none of the other ones that came after that, that F-Zero 99 is amazing. You know, if you played Mario and Donkey Kong back in the day, and like, oh, they're remaking a DS game, I mean a Game Boy Advance game for the Switch, then you're gonna have a good time. If you were like, man, I really like that Super Princess Peach, I wish they made another game in that same vein. Well, they got you covered. These are all very niche audiences. Splatoon 3 is getting a single-player expansion. A single-player expansion that probably would have hit harder had it come out 2 years ago. Or a year ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey, they got you. The big thing for me was Paper Mario Thousand Year Door getting remade. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So it took you this long to remake what might arguably be the best Paper Mario game in the series. Yes, I said it. It's better than Color Splash, better than Sticker Star, better than that new one that came out, the Origami King. Thousand Year Door is the best one. Like the first Paper Mario is like, if you put it amongst the 5 RPGs that were on the N64, it's like number 2 out of the 5 of the best. But that's such a small number that doesn't matter. It's like, hey, I'm the most fit fat kid. That's not really good company you want to be in.
Yeah.
I can actually jog a mile and not sound like I'm about to have a heart attack. Wow, good for you. Yeah, so like when people say the original Paper Mario is good, I'm like, it's good if you compare it to the fact that it was only on the N64 and it had no competition on the N64. There were 5 RPGs on the N64. Paper Mario is one of them. There was Quest, Paper Mario, Ogre Battle 64, which is more of a tactical RPG, but I'll call it an RPG because it has levels and like you have a party and inventory management and all that type of shit. What else? Iden Chronicles: The First Mage, and I'm going to include Gauntlet Legends because there are levels and you do level up. So that's about it. That's 5 RPGs, and let's throw Hybrid Heaven in there, 6. So you're not. So out of 6 RPGs on a system, you're the second best one.
Yeah.
Not impressive. Not impressive. Not even slightly impressive. You know, they're remaking Luigi's Mansion 2, another Code. We're getting a remaster of Tomb Raider 1 through 3. So, if you're like me and you grew up with big hexagonal titty Lara Croft, she's back, baby! And booty shorts. Booty shorts and big tit Lara Croft. She's back, baby! Yeah, that's why when I saw the remake, I'm like, this isn't Lara Croft. Yeah, she got booty shorts, but where are the titties?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need big titty. I need big titty Lara Croft. Like she's ultra acrobatic. It's like I've never seen an acrobat built like that. Built like that. Do make some moves like that. But this is a video game, so I don't care. And she's never looked better. She's never looked better. As a matter of fact, I will probably get this on PC, so that I can have hot Lara Croft. And not, you know, vaguely Angelina Jolie-esque looking Lara Croft. All right, with her booty shorts and her, and they know what they're doing. It's coming out February 14th. Gaming nerds are gonna be like, oh shit, my girl's back. I know what some people say. What about Lara Croft? What about those games? I'm sorry, that's not Lara Croft. Maybe Dora Croft, Dora the Explorer Croft, but not Lara Croft. Sorry, Lara Croft. Yeah, WarioWare Move It.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The game looks good.
Yeah.
Why are those games?
Yeah, I'm tired of WarioWare. Yeah, I'm tired of WarioWare. I don't like minigame collections. So like Pokemon Stadium didn't do shit for me, and Mario Party didn't do shit for me because it's mostly just a minigame collection. And I hate minigame collections unless you're gonna have a full-on game like Kirby Superstar, Kirby Ultra Star, where it's just a series of smaller form games, but they're games. They're like legit games. Cool, but like mini game collections where it's like, oh, press this button at the right time. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
They added kind of like some tougher enemies in Paper Mario. It looks pretty good. I will probably get this game. It looks pretty goddamn good. It looks less claymation-y. And they also made it easier. Like when you use if you get the time to attack perfectly, it damages all enemies. And you also have a triple tech attack where everyone kind of, depending on the party on the screen, everybody gets involved and does some shit. And Booster has never looked better. Booster! You can also go back and fight bosses again. Tougher versions of those bosses. So, I mean, I guess this is cool. The Axum Rangers. I'm guessing you'll eventually have to fight Quinex, that weird boss that you had to trade with the little mole girl for her special rock.
Yeah.
But I guess this is going to be a super powered version of him. I was like, he was pretty he was like the toughest boss in the original game.
Yeah, he was. Man. So glad when I actually fought him. I think I beat him the first try, but you know, once if he can survive all of his spells and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he eventually runs out of magic. He's practically he practically can't do anything.
I never had that happen. Because basically by the time I fought him, I was so powerful. Like I had maxed out my level and I had the best shit. So I never had to like, if I can survive. I'm like, I took him out before his magic ran out. But like he is the toughest boss in the game. The problem being, of course, Super Mario RPG is kind of easy. Now this game, they're adding like rematches with bosses where they're tougher, they have more powerful attacks. I'm guessing they drop better shit this time. Maybe they raise the level cap. I don't know. Let's see, Mario versus Super Princess Peach. Not Super Princess Peach Showtime. This uses a lot of negative tropes. Well, women like to dress up and wear fantastic outfits, so we're gonna have her power up be she wears fantastic outfits. I'm like, oh my god, this shit's so choppy.
What, the game?
I'm looking at the trailer and it's choppy as fuck. I hope it's not. Is this running on the Switch hardware? Because I'm seeing the frame skip on the video. Maybe that's
Yeah. I don't know. It might be.
It could be the video because I have it on 360p. But I'm very like these days. I'm very much like, is this shit running well? I don't know. Let's see, Unicorn Overlord. I mean, it looks actually this looks pretty good. Looks like a Fire Emblem, like a better version of Fire Emblem, like old school Fire Emblem, not like new school Fire Emblem where they're trying to make it into a straight up RPG. There's like some like this is like a ogre battle combined with Fire Emblem. I might get this. I mean, if it comes to other shit, I'll get it.
Yeah.
I still think it's kind of cool how they have like a guy. It's like, I am Unicorn. I'm Unicorn Overlord. That sounds badass as fuck, actually. It's like Dragon Overlord. No, man. Unicorn Overlord. And of course, the trailer for my favorite Mario game, Mario RPG, Thousand Year Door. I know this game by heart. You know they're not going to add anything cool to it. It's going to be the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
Because they don't actually try and do new shit. Super Bowser. Super Bowser. Yes. Like I said, this is the best Paper Mario game by far. Much better than anything they've come out since. And I 100% agree with that. I stand by that statement. Like, you know, I'm not saying there aren't people who like the other games, but I'm saying on technical, like in terms of gameplay depth and music and not having Bowser being the main villain, which is just fucking lazy. It's the best one. Also, the whole stage mechanic was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like if you perform well, the audience would like throw shit at you, and sometimes it would be something bad like a rock or a can. But if you were doing well, they like the toads would throw like a mushroom at you, give you some health, or a flower point to give you some special ability. You know, it was like, oh, this is a nice little mechanic. Nah, intelligent systems don't make Mario RPGs like that anymore. Everything's this bullshit where they're like trying to make it ultra casual for a bigger audience.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, man. So what are your overall thoughts about the game?
I gave it a C.
I mean
or not,
the
game,
trailer.
the direct.
The direct. Sorry.
I I gave it a C plus. Like I said, I was expecting small stuff and remakes, and that's exactly what we got.
Yeah.
I originally gave it a D, but then I saw the Sony conference. It's like, you know what? Grading it on a curve, give Nintendo C plus, give Sony an F, just for the fact that at least, you know, with Nintendo, okay, the Switch is on its way out, but the PS5 is on its third year, and you're not giving us like really any like big heavy hitters.
Fourth year.
Fourth year.
Fourth year. Yeah.
It's on its fourth year. They're not giving us like any big heavy hitters like they usually do when you have when you're in the middle of a generation. And not to mention, both these companies, Xbox and Sony, are about to have big mid-gen refresh when it comes to their consoles. Apparently, we know Xbox is having one because
It
leaked all
leaked.
over the damn place.
Yeah. They
So,
leaked like
yeah.
Grandpa with his Depends that burst. Um,
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad.
yeah,
And
it was like, for real? You just gonna put that shit out there, huh?
we
um,
know Sony. We know Sony's having you know, and we know so because of that we know Sony's having a mid fresh regen upgrade.
yeah,
So it's just kind of like I figure you guys have more exciting things to show.
no,
No.
no.
Mm.
See. I keep on telling you this, man. You expect too much, especially from Sony. Look, Sony is built around third-party games and these big single-player cinematic experience type games. And I know a lot of people are like, I love Spider-Man. Insomniac Spider-Man's amazing. Insomniac Spider-Man is Spider-Man 2 with better graphics. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I like Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. That was the one where you like everyone says that the web slinging in Spider-Man 2 is still the best that franchise ever had. And Insomniac Spider-Man just emulates that. It's just a better version of that, and the combat is less janky. Because Spider-Man 2's combat was janky as fuck. Like as you got farther in the game and enemies, like the tougher enemies start coming out, like you'd have bank robbers in a mecha suit attacking the police and attacking a bank, and you'd have to go there and stop them. And like the way you'd fight is you target an enemy and then you'd like kind of like you just like jump in the air and punch them. And literally, like, it was the jankiest combat animation ever. But you didn't care because the web slinging and everything else was cool, you know? So you're like,
Yeah.
let it slide. Like, Insomniac Spider-Man is a idealized version of Spider-Man 2 with better combat.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but everyone's like, oh, it's so innovative. It revitalized the franchise. It's like, no, it's Spider-Man 2 with better graphics and combat.
Yeah.
Same thing with, everyone's like, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. It's revolutionary. It's Metroid Prime. It's Metroid Prime. It's rated M Metroid Prime. Except you swapped out the psychopath Samus Aran for another psychopath, the Doom Slayer, who just can't stop killing demons. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
But hey, to each his own. Anyway, that's it. Anything else you want to so segueing over to what's it called? If we're gonna to segue over to Sony, so Sony had their conference where they announced a lot of meh stuff.
Yeah, it was a waste of time. Yeah.
To quote Reggie Fils-Aimé, meh.
Man. Yeah, that conference is like one of the games that didn't show up. I think the name of the game is called Stellar Blade. Let me look it up. It felt like that was rumored to show up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, so just a lot of announcements where it's like, well, they were either meh or no shit. Like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth release date, no shit. No one's surprised. Like, here's my thing. Hironobu Sakaguchi, when he was running the Final Fantasy franchise, every console gen, you got 3 Final Fantasies per console. Maybe not to America, but overall, they made 3 games in Japan, okay? You got Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 for the NES, Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6 for the Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 for the PlayStation, Final Fantasy 10 is where they fired his ass after, because the Spirits Within bombed, and they wanted someone to fall on their sword. So we got like 1.5 games because 10-2 is like some bullshit, and 12 is not even a Final Fantasy game. It's a Final Fantasy Tactics game. It's set in that same universe with those same tropes. So we got 1.5 Final Fantasy games in the 6th gen. And then ever since then, it's just been, they cannot get Final Fantasy games out.
Yeah.
They can't get them out. Like, it took them, what, like 5 years, 4 or 5 years to come out with a Final Fantasy VII Remake? And I'm like, it can't be that hard to come out with what originally was an N64 game and then was ported over to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, whatever. And they divided it up into 2 halves. Even, although this might not even be the full fucking game at this point. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The big thing is that it's Brooklyn and Queens, and you can play as Spider-Man and Miles Morales. So they have the original Spider-Man with the world's most uninteresting Spider-Man, which is Miles Morales. It's like, okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
RE4 Remake DLC, cool. Tales of Arise is getting an expansion. I guess that's cool. I don't know. Helldivers has been delayed.
It's been delayed again?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out this year. It's coming out next year.
Oh.
Avatar, Baby Steps, Honkai Star Rail, Foam Stars, which is Square Enix's take on Splatoon. Actually, Foam Stars looks more interesting than Splatoon. You know, it's like clearly the team who made this game were like, oh man, we really like Splatoon. I mean, I like Splatoon too, but god damn. Oh man, this is Happy Bath Survival. So I'm guessing you're painting areas with your color. I mean, clearly this is Turf War. This is fucking Turf War from Splatoon.
Yeah.
Except they have unique characters who have personality versus Inklings who just, I customize my Inkling. Okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a cross between a MOBA and Splatoon, which Splatoon is kind of like a MOBA light. Competitive MOBA light. Yeah, but Square Enix, yeah, it's gonna be on the PlayStation 5 open beta September 29th to October 1st. And that's it.
Yeah.
But you got anything else to say before we anything you want to add?
Hopefully one of these days we'll have a state of play where we're like, oh, that was actually pretty good. Hopefully one of these days. Still waiting.
I mean, the problem with Sony's state of play is that because Sony is so wedded to third parties, most of the shit that would be a surprise, the third parties have to tell their investors, and it leaks out early.
Yeah.
It's like, well, shit, what's the point now?
Yeah.
But whatever. That being said, anything else you want to add before we move on to the next topic?
No, I'm good.
All right. So, speaking of Sony, being third-party dependent. One of their major people that used to really drink at their trough all the time was Konami. Konami made a series of RPG games called Suikoden. Now,
Yeah.
Suikoden was based off of a Chinese novel about a prince who's exiled to some shitty land that almost nothing will grow there, and how he basically recruits 107 other legendary heroes to join him in taking back his birthright and saving his kingdom. Obviously, Suikoden is loosely based on this, because there wasn't magic and shit in this novel. Or maybe there was. I've never read it. I just know that it's based on that. However, Konami hasn't released a new Suikoden game in almost 12, 13 years. Like, I think the last one was on the Vita. And maybe that was a port. And just a few re-releases here and there. I think the latest one was a re-release of Suikoden 1 and 2. And it came on PC and like a lot of stuff. But whatever. Well, the people who made Suikoden said, we're tired of waiting. And they left Konami and they had a Kickstarter. And this Kickstarter was Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, okay? And it blew through every single goal they set. They're like, yeah, if you give us this much money, we'll add this. And it blew through that. Well, if you give us this much money, we'll add this. And it blew through that. Basically, they funded everything. They're even adding people who funded it at a certain tier's cats into the game. That's how many. Wow. That's how much shit they blew through. How much Kickstarter shit they blew through. Hell, I even gave them $20. That's how much I was like, man, there needs to be another Suikoden game, because Konami ain't doing it. So let somebody else get in on that action.
Yeah.
So there you go. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, and its official release date is. Let me open up my browser window. Because it's coming out April 23rd next year. So that's January, February, March, April. So 4 months. Oh, well, 6 months from now. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So like 7 months.
So it's coming out in 7 months?
7 months. So I got 7 months to finish. I got 7 months to get at least one gameplay beat of Starfield, yeah. Because I've already beaten Baldur's Gate 3 twice. So I gotta beat Starfield at least once. And start one new game plus, so that I can play this and enjoy it. You know, look, man, you gotta prioritize. You gotta make it work. You know, you gotta make it work for you. The game looks gorgeous, by the way. It looks fucking amazing.
A heroic tale will soon unfold.
You know, that cell shaded art style looks amazing. And this, I mean, you look at it and like, yeah, this is fucking this is Suikoden.
Yeah, those look pretty good.
It's just what's the word we're looking for? It is a modern version of Suikoden. It's what we could have been getting from Konami, but they're bitches and they want everything to be 30 polygons and on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks pretty. It looks dope as hell, man. I'm not gonna lie. Dope, son. Speaking of dopes, that was an interesting segue. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is faster on PC than PS5, even without direct storage.
Wow. Okay.
Now this was discovered via CompuSymbol. I guess this is someone who basically, by deleting the cache.pso file from the games folder, PC gamers can boost loading times When CompuSymbol deleted that file, its PC system, an AMD Ryzen 7 7700X with 32 gigabytes of RAM and an AMD Radeon RX 6950 XT, was able to load the portal scene faster than the PS5.
Wow.
Then they went one step ahead and completely disabled direct storage. And even without the direct storage, the PC was able to run the portal scene faster than the PS5. Which means that which we all knew that when they said it, because let me break this down for you, okay? The PS5 and the Xbox Series X are shitty little micro gaming PCs. A shitty little micro gaming PC is not going to have the raw horsepower of a dedicated gaming PC.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like you can soup up your little shitty smart car, your little $10,000 smart car as much as you want. Okay? You can soup it up to the moon. It's not going to be a dedicated racing car. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention, okay, your PC. Let's say a game comes out and it says, "Oh man, my graphics card can't run that." You can take your graphics card out and put a new one in there, and as long as you have the PSU to support it and the motherboard with the PCIe lanes to support it, you can upgrade your shit and run that game. You can't do that on a console. You get a game on console that's too powerful for the console, that game's going to run like hot buttered ass, which is what's been happening with a lot of Nintendo Switch games.
Yeah.
You think it's coincidence that they're just remaking a whole bunch of old shit that ran on weaker hardware?
Yeah.
Think about that. Anyway.
Definitely not a coincidence, especially,
Coincidence?
Especially, yeah.
I think not.
Yeah, they were pushing the whole thing like, oh, this can only be done on the PS5, IO throughput, and all this other stuff. It's just kind of like, okay.
Like, but the power of the PS5, it's like, first of all, if a company starts talking about the power of their console, immediately start thinking, oh, this is gonna be some bullshit. Because no console is inherently going to be more powerful than a PC these days. All right? Even if a console is more powerful than a PC, within 3 to 6 months, there's going to be new PC hardware coming out that's going to make that console look weak.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Okay? Because basically, these companies have to sell X amount of consoles in order for the shit to be profitable. And they ain't got money like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely true.
But,
No one's really going to talk about it, though. Well, at least not on the Sony camp.
Oh, no. You see how quiet they are? They ain't saying a word. They're like, oh, because remember when it came out, oh, you can only run this on the PlayStation 5. I'm like, yeah, because Sony lies. Sony lies all the goddamn time. That's what Sony does. Sony should be called Sony, we are liars.
Yeah.
Sony loves to lie. Okay? They love lying. That's what Sony likes to do. Like, like this game can only run on the PlayStation 5, on the PlayStation 4. Like, remember how the Order 1886 was like a graphical tour de force, and then it turns out it was using the same shit they did back in the day on the N64 and the PlayStation in order to render 3D environments. So a lot of fog in the distance, so they don't have to render that shit.
Yeah.
And it was at 30 frames per second.
Yep.
Which, I'm sorry, if you're selling me, if you're selling me some shit and it's 30 frames per second, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want anything that's 30 frames per second. All right. Some people gonna get mad when they hear that, but I don't care. F them. Like, oh. But insert reason here why that's a valid thing. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting that they lied because, it's Sony. They always lie. Because they want to sell you their shitty product. I say that as I want a PS5.
And the funny thing is, I mean, this isn't anything really new. Companies have been pulling this stuff for years when it comes to how they talking up their consoles. I guess I'm not necessarily. It's not. It's not so much that they lied about, the power. It's just the fact that a lot of people just buy into it. It's like you really know this is just marketing hype, right, guys? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
It's marketing hype.
But people need to feel comfortable with their purchases.
Yeah.
Like, this kind of doubles back on the state of play and Xbox Live's directs and Xbox's directs and Nintendo directs. The whole purpose of these directs and these events is to make, like, serves two purposes. Okay, the number one purpose is to get people to buy that product. The number two purpose is for people who own that product to continue to invest in that product. The problem with a lot of these things is, like, they announce shit where I'm like, I don't really have an incentive to go and buy your console because I know that your games are coming to another platform where I have far more options on how to play those games. Number two, like, if I already own your console, like with Nintendo, it's like a lot of games they show. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't give a fuck about that game. Like, I haven't, except for Tears of the Kingdom, and the only reason I got Tears of the Kingdom wasn't because I like Breath of the Wild. It was so that when I talk shit about Tears of the Kingdom, people wouldn't be like, oh, you didn't even play it. I did. I still don't like it. Okay. So then, I can complain from a position of knowledge and not ignorance. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I hate played that game. Hate beat that game. I'm not impressed. There's more shit in it than Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, than Breath of the Wild, but there's still a lot of shit that should have been in that game. Like, why can't you really swim underwater still?
Yeah.
Why is that still? We haven't. Is it something with the engine? You just can't do it with the engine. Like, you can't dive with the engine.
Well, again, they use two different engines with this game, so I don't think it's that. Like, it's a slightly different engine that they're using with this game than
the last one. But it's still like, yeah. If I can dive through rock, if I can swim through rock, which is essentially what you can do in the game, then why is water so difficult for you guys? Water, fuck that shit.
I think it's just a whole other set of mechanics and stuff that they have to worry about. I'm not saying it's a great excuse. I'm just saying it's like, it's all different. I don't know. they didn't have to make it really that intricate when it came to swimming. You know.
Anyway, okay, fair. I guess we just won't see eye to eye on that particular issue, and that's cool. Different opinions make things interesting. If everyone had the same opinion, the world would be a boring and vanilla place, like oatmeal with no butter or cinnamon or sugar in it.
Yeah.
Speaking of boring things, Embracer Group. Embracer Group. Embracer Group, this is our main topic. Embracer Group, as you may or may not know, is the company that had been going around like, what's his name? Like Unicron from Transformers devouring planets. But in this case, the planets were studios and IPs. Like they own half of the Lord of the Rings IP.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they bought 2K, or sorry, not 2K, Gearbox. Like basically, Embracer Group was just like just devouring, and these studios weren't really making anything. Like a lot of their games had come out and bombed, but Embracer Group was gonna, get more funding until they didn't, and now they're firing a lot of people, shuttering studios. Like the studio who made Mythic Force got fired. Like they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like they released the game and they no longer have jobs.
yeah.
What type of sad shit is that? Like you could come out with a game and like 2-3 days after the game came out, they fired their asses. I'm like, you're not even gonna give them like 2 or 3 months? Damn. That's some sad shit, man.
Yeah.
But this is kind of this is a scary thing with the consolidation. Like this is why it's good to have low tier publishers, mid tier publishers, and big publishers, and not have everything be consolidated under one roof. Because
Yeah.
like if you're a small tier publisher and you really like, you have to keep your budgets under control. So giving some studios carte blanche and they can do whatever they want is not like sometimes you get amazing games, but then sometimes you get Star Citizen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just depends. But anyway, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. I think there's it's not just the fact that these companies are getting absorbed. A lot of them want to be absorbed. It's like because when Microsoft bought ZeniMax, they were looking to be bought, and then you have um, and then you have
Obsidian?
I think Obsidian. I think you got EA that's also looking to sell themselves.
Eh, I mean, I think that was one of the options on the table. I don't think they were trying to sell themselves. I think they tried to, and then people saw how much they were asking. They're like, which is why EA split themselves in two, because it makes the books look better.
Yeah.
Now that we are in orbit, it might be wise to test.
Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. I just work here. I agree, disagree.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't. I think I think these companies aren't making as much money as they say they're making, or a lot of that money is going going straight to the top.
Yeah,
Most of
it's
that
not
money's
being
going straight to
reinvested
the
in
top.
the company.
Yeah, it's not being put back into the company properly. So I guess some of these companies are wanting to be bought so they can have access to more resources.
Yeah, and safety while they're like financial safety while they're making the game.
Yeah,
Cuz it
yeah,
like video games, especially like mid-tier and high-tier video games, those are very those are very resource intensive, you know?
yeah,
Cuz you got to have stuff be like you gotta have QA people. It's like you gotta have like troubleshooting programmers. You gotta have your firefight people. You gotta have like they got different people who got to do different shit for big games. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And that is that's scary.
yeah,
A lot of people can't deal with that. And I mean, I understand. It's like the reason why not. It's the reason why a lot of more people work for someone than work for themselves, because when you own a business yourself, you can only rely on you. There is no safety net. When you work for somebody else, it's like, oh man, they fired me. Well, I can apply for unemployment.
yeah,
you know, like now the cool thing is that there is unemployment insurance that you can get yourself. Um, like Affleck. Affleck is unemployment insurance. Like if you get fired or you lose your job, you pay a certain amount of money over, the insurance policies, whatever, over a year, and that money they pay you out because they're hoping that you don't get unemployed and you continue to pay money into that shit. Matter of
yeah.
fact, I might have to get Affleck just in case.
Oh, uh, things not things not working out very well right now.
No, no, but you never know.
You never
Like
know.
let me put it this way, man. Insurance is like having a condom. Okay, you would rather not need you would rather have a condom and not need it than need a condom and not have it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
like it's look, man, you don't want to be in a situation where it's like car insurance. It's like you have car insurance. People have car insurance. That doesn't mean you want to get in a wreck. But you'd rather have car insurance and not need it than need car insurance and not have it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree with that.
And most people don't understand that.
Yeah, yeah, because you think you're gonna, you know, think everything's gonna just keep moving as it always does. So,
I mean, the thing is that no market is going to be the same forever. That's just life.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And you shouldn't want shit to be the same forever. I don't know about you, but I don't want like I shit has to change.
Yeah,
Like you can't have everything be the same forever. You're not going to make all the money. Everything ain't going to always be the way you want it to be. And that's just life.
yeah, Yeah, sometimes things change.
Things have to change. You can't have everything be the same. Like could you imagine if you went to a restaurant and you went in there and it was like the restaurant opened 50 years ago and it had the same fucking decor as 50 years ago? You go in there, it's got carpet on the floors, which is one of the worst things you can do in a restaurant is have carpet on the floors because inevitably shit's gonna spill and it's way harder to kill
Clean
a carpet
carpet.
than a linoleum or wooden floor. It's like a linoleum or wooden floor. You can steam it and sterilize it. You can clean the shit out of it. It's real hard to clean a carpet, especially if you have like years of people spilling drinks and sugary shit and sweet shit, all types of shit on the thing. So you got to clean the carpet. You got to clean the floor under the carpet because that's going to get all fucked up. It's like people don't understand these things. They're just like, oh no. But you want to go and eat at that place that hasn't changed the carpet in 50 goddamn years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I believe it. But, that's just that that's just me being a contrarian. A contrarian bastard.
Yeah, sometimes you need a contrarian.
Yeah. Or maybe not, whatever. Anyway, anything else you want to add? This is the free topic portion where we bring up topics where we're like, hey, no one's talking about this. Why not? It's important.
Let's see. Switch to rumors or oh yeah, the Xbox leak, the Microsoft leak. That's everybody's talking about that, but
Yeah.
they,
Yeah, I
they,
heard about that leak and I heard some of the leaks. I was like, some of this seems a little like wishful thinking.
yeah, it does.
They're like, yeah, Phil Spencer, we're gonna buy Nintendo. Okay, all right, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, okay, you keep on going for that, bro. You
Yeah,
do
they've been
you.
wanting to buy Nintendo for forever.
Yeah, they tried to buy Nintendo back in the day when Bill Gates tried to do that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you
Yeah,
sure you
really.
want to do this? Because, they make more money working for themselves than working for other people.
Yeah.
It's like people don't understand this.
Yeah.
But hey, what do I know? I'm just some guy. But yeah. The leak was interesting because people were acting like, oh, this is so new. We never knew this. It's like, yeah, but we know that they were going on a big hiring spree. Like they looked at Sega and they were like, nah, y'all got too much shit going on.
Yeah.
We can't buy you.
Yeah. And yeah, but reality is, if for whatever reason Microsoft did end up buying Nintendo, people at the top would be eating wagyu and being able to find and being able to buy the finest Japanese women imaginable. So, you know.
I mean, how can I put this nicely? I don't think the Japanese government would allow Microsoft to buy. I don't think they would allow Microsoft to buy Nintendo.
Yeah, they're very
Protectionist.
yeah, I don't think they would want corporate interest. A foreign corporation buying
An American
their.
foreign corporation.
Yeah, yeah,
They're cool with that fucking Tencent buying up all those small Japanese studios, but America, nah, nah, son.
and also there just seems to be. I mean, it kind of is hypocritical because Sony's practically an American company at this point.
Yeah,
The way they've been going.
yeah. They definitely have lost a lot of their Japanese flavor over the years. Like they're more American than they are Japanese, and they feel like it too. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a very you know, and you can, but I mean, Sony's been going that way for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like Sony was doing that shit. Like when they stopped, really, it's in the middle point. It's in the midpoint of the PS2 era when they stopped supporting those Japanese style, esoteric Japanese style games.
Yeah.
And everything became about like these big cinema, like God of War and shit like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not a big God of War fan. I've never been a big God of War fan, mostly because, I read Greek mythology and I know what Greek mythology is, and that shit in God of War is not Greek mythology. It's Greek mythology fanfic where David Jaffe and his team's like, let's create a character who's the best. He can kick all the classic characters' asses. Like Dave Filoni, Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's fanfic character for Star Wars that he made main thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this character's more badass than any character you ever came up with. Which is just lazy, really. It's really just really fucking lazy.
That's not. Yeah, that's not the point. It's like, you know, the why people like, certain characters from Star Wars. The older ones is because of the trials and tribulations they go through, and how they change and how they grow throughout those trials and tribulations.
Yeah, like Luke was originally a whiny little bitch, and then eventually he became a badass. Han Solo was a selfish asshole, and eventually he became a slightly less selfish asshole. It's like, that's it. Look, man, look, character growth. Everybody can't have character growth. Everybody can't be a better person. I'm a better man now. Slightly better. A little bit better. Chewbacca stayed pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but that's why people like those games, because those characters changed over time. They weren't just the same shit over and over again. And it wasn't like, oh, my favorite and fan-made character is going to be more badass than anything you ever came up with. Which is kind of like what the new stuff felt like. It's like, oh, well, my fan-made character is more badass than anything you could ever come up with. Fuck you. It's like, yeah, but your character didn't earn this.
Yeah.
Look, I'm all for, having characters be interesting and all that shit, but your character has to earn that shit. You don't just, oh yeah, this character's badass, but they didn't earn it though.
Yeah.
But yeah. Back to Sony. Yeah, Sony at this point is more of a Japanese company, is more of an American company, and it's been going like everyone's like, oh, this just happened with Jim Ryan. No, they were like this before.
Yeah.
When the Japanese dude who used to be the head of PlayStation, when he was all like, yeah, we're closing all these Japanese studios and all this shit. Yeah, just basically Japan. Sony has given up on fighting for Japan. All right.
Yeah. The thing is, like people like to quote the whole line crying Jim Ryan, but this stuff has been going on for a while now. Like the foreshadowing of a lot of this stuff, you could probably trace it back to at least the last few CEOs that were there. Like this isn't like, for example, like a lot of Sony fanboys were pissed that some of their beloved exclusive titles were coming to PC, but I remember what the last CEO said. It's like, we made the PS4 Pro to keep people from PC, which definitely could hint at the fact that we're probably gonna try to go for the PC market.
Yeah,
It just seems like a bit of a foreshadow now, looking back at that statement.
well, more like they were trying to not go PC, and then they just finally said, "Fuck it." I mean, basically, like we can't.
So it's not like everything, because again, and a lot of the stuff is planned before they shift chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff.
Well, they're in the 5-year plan. Because typically most businesses have a 5-year plan. It's like, this is what we're going to do this year. This is what we're going to do this year. And after 5 years, it's going to go this way. And then, really successful companies have a 10-year plan. 20-year plan.
The CEO is essentially the spokesperson for the company, because you also have, obviously, I'm sure they have a board. They also have to talk to investors as well.
Yeah, it depends on what type of company it is. Because some companies, like if you're like a Nintendo, they pretty much, the board pretty much leaves them the fuck alone, leaves their CEO alone as long as they get their money.
Yeah.
But if you're Sony, Sony's gonna be like, look, why are we losing all this money over here doing this shit over here? And then the CEO has to go and say, well, actually, we have a plan for that, blah, 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 blah. That's why I'm surprised. That's why people are like, well, Phil Spencer turned around the Xbox. Yeah, he did, because you know what? The board was going to get rid of that division.
Yeah. And a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, and it's going to create a black hole within the gaming industry. And, that would have been disastrous, actually.
Well, maybe not disastrous, but you would have seen, it would have been just like when Sega left the hardware market. Like it's never good when an entire competitor is just gone.
Yeah.
Like just fucking gone. Like, and we still haven't recovered from Sega leaving the hardware market. People are gonna say, well, the Xbox kind of, but Sega brought a flavor to gaming that you just don't get from Microsoft as a hardware manufacturer.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just some guy. Yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to add before we wrap things up?
No, that's it.
All right. I guess it's time for my unpopular opinion. It's going to be quick. My unpopular opinion is this. I recently saw The Equalizer 3, and it's pretty goddamn good.
Good, huh?
It's a slasher movie where Denzel Washington is a serial killer, but good news, he only goes after really bad people. So if you're in the Mafia, La Cosa Nostra, that's your ass, boy. And these bad guys keep on fucking up. They're like, there's a part where they got him. They got Denzel Washington. They're about to shoot him. And people pull out their cell phones like, we're going to record this and send it out to the world. They're like, we'll come back tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow. And Denzel Washington's like, tomorrow? Bitch, I'm coming to your house tonight. And he murders the fuck out of everybody in that mansion. I'm like, God damn.
Wow.
Yeah, the first Equalizer was PG-13. The second Equalizer was R. The third Equalizer is a hard R. I mean, it is like, God damn. Like, it opens up with, like, he goes into this money launderer / opioid smuggler's cover business. Because he's really smuggling in fentanyl and shady money. And he murders like you don't even see him do it. You see the after effects, like the bodies and how these people are all fucked up. It's like, God damn, this is like a horror movie. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Ugh. But I liked it though. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Equalizer 2 pretty good. I don't know. I'm gonna try and go to the movies more often since I got Alamo Drafthouse Cinema Pro thing where you can like watch one movie a day. So that's gonna be fun. I can't watch one movie a day. I can watch, you know, you know, 2 or 3 movies a
week.
Yeah, 2 or 3 movies a week. Like one movie on my Tuesday, another movie on my Wednesday, and then Thursday just rest up. Because I'm paying for it, I might as well use it. Shit. You know?
Yeah.
And it's better than Alamo Cinema Drafthouse, which I don't like. Or sorry, not Alamo. What's it called? Shit. AMC.
AMC, yeah.
AMC is like if they open a new AMC theater, okay, you gonna get some good quality. If it's an AMC theater that's like over 2 or 3 years old, oh boy, you talking about some people that don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. It's like, hey, like I typically when I used to go to the AMC, I would go in the morning. Not in the morning. I'd go in the morning to the matinees. The place just opened. You go in the bathroom, it's like they did not clean that shit for 2 days.
Ooh.
And you can tell when a bathroom hasn't been cleaned.
I'm just gonna hold until I get home.
You can tell when a bathroom hasn't been cleaned because especially a men's room, because you go in there and it smells like piss, which means people have been pissing and missing the seat. And no one came in there and mopped up a goddamn thing.
They don't even sell alcohol at AMC's, I don't think.
Oh, they do. At least the one near me. Like after, I think 5 or 6, they have a bartender where they sell alcoholic beverages, but I wouldn't drink an alcoholic beverage at AMC. Because, I mean, like, you know, if they ain't cleaning the bathrooms in an orderly fashion, you know people who work there ain't washing their goddamn hands.
Yeah.
So... You know, I ain't trying to get no diseases or nothing.
It's becoming this quality of services, you know, I don't go out a lot, but from people I hear that do go out a lot, you know, whether it be restaurants or stuff, quality of service has gone down, you know, past.
I mean, I think a part of it just in the last like 2 or 3 years was COVID hit and, you know, people, I mean, listen, I don't work in the service industry, but I've seen how people treat people in the service industry. And I can understand why the more experienced people are like, I don't have to take this shit and went someplace else. I can't get mad at them. And the new people don't have that ethic. They're like, why should I work hard when I'm going to be treated like shit? I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand it. With that being said,
That being said,
Yeah, with that being said, what I was about to say, with that being said, though, it still ain't right. You know, it's still not right that you go and people are like just being really shitty and not doing basic shit they could do to give you a better experience.
yeah,
You know, like, you know, I'm not asking you to kiss my ass or go. Just do the basic things. Just do your fucking job.
yeah,
And they won't even do that. They're like, oh, well, that's too hard. I'm like, oh, well, fuck you then. Um, and that's why, you know, I don't spend my money at AMC theaters anymore, and I used to, you know, but not
yeah,
anymore. I'm like, nah, I could spend my money someplace else. So these days, I primarily shop at when I do watch movies, I go to Regal. If I have to go away from my house, or Alamo.
yeah.
So you know. Anyway, enough about that. That's the end of the cast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Anything you want to pimp out, sir?
Project Console, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
All right.
Tuesdays now. So.
All right. Okay. This is Mr. Red Fox, under prior to BS Busters. I will have same bat time, same bat place. Wednesday, 7:30 to 8:30. That's the end of the cast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to reach if you want to get in touch with the channel, you can reach me at mrredfoxbsbuster@gmail.com, or you can reach me via Discord in the link. It's a tiny URL, Discord, whatever. Click on that. You can join the official BS Buster Discord and leave topic suggestions, video games you think we should review, etc., etc. Whatever you like. Share your thoughts. Just use common sense. Don't put anything in the Discord that you wouldn't want your mother to see see you doing. All right. That's the end of the cast. Good night.
Good night.
All right. That was fine. That was good. That was a good cast.